Hi, old beaver! Away!
Good evening, gamers, and welcome to ozfortress Season 32 Premier. This is Critscast. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you all again. My name is Snazzy, or the Lampshade 22, depending on which circles you find me in. And with me tonight is Luggnuts. Tonight, we're watching Premier, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I mean, first ozfortress 6's game, at least of this season, on Critscast.
But we're looking at Xeno and Bad Dentist. I don't think this roster can stand up to Dr. Deepak, but this roster does look like Atten and Tachyon on Scout. We see Yachty and Raylan on Soldiers. We see Demo is Meph and Essence is the med, which is a pretty fat roster, but they're facing off Xeno. Do you know the roster for that one?
Oh yeah, this is going to be a tough game for them. We've got Pandemic and on Scout. Yeah, it's Hebes. Alt and Fane on Soldier. Matt on Demoman, and Omni on Medic.
I mean, they're facing off on two classic maps. We're watching Process first, and then I believe they'll be following up with Snakewater. But it looks like we're seeing Already's up. So, ladies and gentlemen, one last time, welcome to Critscast. This is ozfortress Season 32 Premier Division, Round 1. We're going into this first mid, Xeno and Bad Dentist, and Luggnuts, tell me about it.
Well, I mean, Matt did get there first, I'm pretty sure. Doing a little bit of spam, not too much going at the time. Standard soldiers trying to take off. Fane actually forcing the other soldier off that top area before falling down himself. But still kind of just a bit of a passive play here until now. Looks like the soldier's going in with a huge bomb on the medic. Does a lot of damage around and is going to force out Bad Dentist. But they haven't really picked up too many frags. Just a soldier exchange on each side.
That was pretty good for Xeno there. They bullied them out really, really easily, hey?
Yes, they did. I mean, like, not having to commit too hard to that, just putting Fane in that IT area, getting that aggression on the soldier when they needed to just shove them out of last. Matt getting there early definitely did sort of help them a bit there, so they could take that early space and not get shoved into an unfortunate position. Out early onto the gimmick classes there.
Oh, dude, but they send a soldier as old cloaks, and he's on the med! So low!
Yeah. The butter knife. That's actually going to put 2 down now, and this is going to be vulnerable to a repush if Bad Dentists want to take this, but it doesn't really look like they want to commit with their own soldier down as well.
Yeah, I mean, they got to wait 30 minutes for the fluoride anyway, so they don't really want to be taking a bite of this team right now, especially with the spawns being pretty much equal. Yeah, they were totally equal, actually. So everyone's back up. We don't see any silly off classes now. Don't at me, I'm not an elitist. They're not necessarily silly because they're off class. They're silly because they're bad plays.
Exactly. And, oh, there comes the soldiers in.
Double
sack.
soldier. Onto the med. They do get the force, but they lose both soldiers for it. It's a fairly good trade for them, I think. There's a scout trying to pick choke, but he's not going to be able to do very much. We do see the soldier come through in the rear onto the med. Omni uses his Uber. We do see 3-4 players in choke there. They have cleaned up one gamer in the middle of that Uber, and they're probably going to clean up Yachty now as well in that sewer area. It looks like Bad Dentist is still trying to fight this, and they actually have cleaned up the med. If they can consolidate themselves here, I think they can probably take this, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. This isn't actually too bad of a position for either team here. There is a lot of forward aggression coming out of Xeno. They lost their medic, so they're going to need to secure the second point, but Bad Dentist, even though they've been forced to pull back to last here, they're not going to be unhappy. They've got the Uber advantage. They're going to get the player advantage. Recapping the second, they're not even going to need to do it because Xeno decided to send their players forward to try to get some kind of play on the medic instead of taking that ground, which is going to leave them in a pretty bad position if they want to hold even this mid. They're going to have to back out of it pretty quickly, and they're already holding back build.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have to bail here. 50% Uber ad is pretty terrifying as well. But Bad Dentist is going to have to move probably before they get the cap on mid. So they're going to be leaving at least one scout behind. They have used through the choke. They send their demo straight on through. It looks like they're probably going to secure second here, but there are still a couple of players in that upper IT lobby area. They do get one frag, but it's not really enough. But now they have the Uber of their own. They return back into second. They've stopped the cap. They've cleaned up nobody, though. Except, like, their own soldier going down there with no health. I don't know. They do end up catching the demo out in that IT area, but there's so much scrappy fighting going on that second area, and it's looking like Xeno's going to be coming out on the upper end.
Yeah, they're actually going to be converting this as well into a push to middle. This is just a bit too aggressive from Bad Dentist when they were pulling out to that mid area. They've just easily pulled out, gotten their own Uber, and then leapfrogged it back in. But they decided to kind of linger a little bit, and sure enough, lost their demo for it, and that meant they couldn't really hold mid at all. They will be able to hold their second, though, with an Uber advantage again. Not too much, though, so we'll see if they can actually leapfrog this back onto middle.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not a huge ad, but they're so ready to go. It looks like they're going to use maybe the moment they get it. They have gotten it, though. It's equal Ubers. Their demo's taking quite a bit of damage. They're sort of muscling themselves forward. They do lose Yachty. Their Uber gets forced, a soldier onto them. They've lost 2 players already, and the Uber hasn't really done much. It is a trade, though, so that's pretty good for them, but they have lost so many players. They're trying to back out here. So many players in choke, causing problems, cleaning up gamers. And it looks like Fane right onto the med, hits a nice big rocket, but not quite enough. The med bails through second and gets out the skin of his teeth, man. Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, never mind.
Not quite over, but yeah, he does finally manage to get out. That's really good escape from him. I thought he was a goner there once Fane got onto him. Pretty good situation for Xeno, but they don't have the greatest Uber advantage because they didn't pick up their medic. So this is still last hold for Bad Dentist. And even though the last time they were in this position they had, a lot of player advantage and Uber advantage, they have been on the last once before this map and they haven't lost yet. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we do see Alt back up on Spy, and he's actually coming forward, so he's not just checking for off classes. So we're going to have to see how that actually gets onto things. We do see some of the players on Bad Dentist spamming that Spy voice comm. So I think they may have a vague idea that Alt's due for this. In fact, Yachty was just waiting for him, man. So not going to see much out of that play, I don't think. Except for a little bit of a forward momentum from Bad Dentist.
Not the greatest play out of Alt there, but I mean, his accusation chat has backed himself up into a nice position morally over the other team. I think that at the moment, we've seen a sentry gun come out for the defense and a sniper. They're just going to sit here and just wait for things to happen, see what space they can get. And we've seen Alt come out of spawn again on the Spy, so he just wants to keep throwing this at a wall and seeing when eventually it sticks.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in this play. Like, if you get caught on Spy once, nobody expects you to be stupid enough to run it again. So, I'm a big believer. He decloaks, and he gets caught immediately.
Well, they didn't expect him, He just
They won't be expecting it a third time.
Hell, they didn't even expect it the second time. No one was looking for the Spy. He just decloaked within hearing range of 3 players,
They did send... He even says in the chat they won't expect it again. They did send a sack in the middle of that one, which did end up achieving very little. We do see Fane sack in as well. But in the meantime, the other soldier was peeking through 2 for quite a bit of damage onto the sentry, but not quite enough to take it down. So I think it's just going to be another reset. I think Bad Dentist is definitely in a position here where they can just wait it out.
Okay. That was a market garden kill onto the soldier.
That was sacking.
That's very unfortunate. I was a bit distracted there because Yachty was on Spy. Looks like he was just checking to see if Alt was trying for a 3rd time. He wasn't. So
it's because he's a weakling. He's a weakling. He doesn't want to run it 3 times. The
street.
The soldier in door 2 there is being able to get so much spam onto the gun. Nothing's really being done about him. They actually have both their soldiers on that side now. Fane taking out that player. They're going to both be able to spam the gun. The gun goes down. This could be the advantage they need to sort of get a push going. They've got a player out. They've taken out that gun. Tachyon's still on Engie. He's only just swapped. Both teams sort of playing here. A second player down. Ubers get traded. Yeah. I'm very lost. It's such a weird fight. We see Xeno take that right side and actually up into the bunker area as well. There's so many frags going on, it's hard to really tell exactly where the advantage is on this fight until just now, where 3 players, including the med, go down in very, very quick succession, and Pandemic is running for his life. Good lord. That was such a wild fight. I was finding it hard to follow.
Yeah, that was really weird. Another player went down, then they kind of backed to the right side. Then there was a lot of aggression through from xeno, but then that all just kind of collapsed when it finally got to the point. It is much more structured to what's going on right now, though. Bit of a push coming in from Bad Dentist. They do have Uber advantage. No Uber yet, but they are getting frags on their side. Really low across the board, however, so they're going to need to be careful here. That's their demo man going down, so they might have to pull back out of this onto second.
Oh, feigning choke. Oh, not quite able to conceive. I don't know what word I'm looking for.
He didn't get the frags. We'll just go with that for now. Till we can think of more dentist-based puns.
The Novocaine was used. The Uber was used on the side of Bad Dentist. It didn't really achieve very much other than 3 downed players, and they have backed all the way up into last. They're just giving up on second, building as hard as they can because they're facing, what, a 50% Uber dis out here?
Yeah, this is a really tragic situation for them. They will get all their players back, but not even any time for off classes. So this is really just seeing how well Xeno handles a full Uber ad push into last against no off classes. Apart from a heavy now, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you would really defend against this. You're just going to have to kite the Uber as much as you can. The Uber comes through door 3. They're up in that bunker area. They have kite quite a bit of this Uber already. The Heavy's still up there, getting a lot of damage onto that soldier that jumps. But the frags are coming out. There's players on the point. No one there to stop them. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The first round the way of Xeno.
So not quite it, only the first round. Match still has 19 minutes left, though. But I mean, surely a big victory for Xeno there. Took a while, but they did push it over at the end, despite the Tachyon heavy main on the last one.
Yeah, I mean, and I know it's not it, but I'm certainly spent after an 11th round. Coming to this next mid, though. Both of demos get there at a fairly similar time. Just a bit of posturing so far. Not a lot of damage, really, to speak of. We do see a nice big bait bomb out of one of the soldiers on the side of Xeno, and their demo man follows up with a frag onto Tachyon, one of the scouts. And that's going to bully Bad Dentist straight on out of there. We do see them actually forwarding and choke there. Xeno, they're getting quite a bit of ground here, and they're so clumped on Bad Dentist that I don't know if it's going to really work out. They do get the trade frag onto Feign, though, which has actually backed up Xeno straight onto that midpoint. Equal Ubers. It's going to be a bit of a reset, I think. Maybe?
Sackons in gets deleted by Matt. That's tragic for them. But yeah, about the same amount of players now, same Ubers. Not really too much of a space to do anything. Although there is a 10-second respawn disadvantage for Bad Dentist here, which gives Xeno a chance to sack him.
Yeah, they send one of their soldiers on another bait bomb, and then he goes in for a second there. Doesn't quite manage to make anything connect. We do see Heaves, Big Fudge. Yeah, yep. He gets trapped in lobby there and just gets mids. So now they're 2 down on the side of Xeno. This will trigger the push, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a big Dentist push. They're clustering around choke at the moment, Maybe they might want to be getting in the soldier here, use the 2 down for a second. See, they've waited a long time. Now the players are up, so yeah, not really doing too much with that one, but maybe they were baiting for the soldier bomb.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of initial aggression from the soldiers. Feign actually in with a nice big high bomb onto the med. Does get cleaned up. The other soldier came in for it as well, so that's 2 down on the side of Xeno. Yachty goes down at choke there. He tried to counter bomb on that one. But with 2 down here on the side of Xeno, they really need to be careful.
Yeah, losing Yachty there was pretty disastrous for Bad Dentist. They did stop the rest of the team pushing in, but that is going to stop them from capitalizing off that 2-player advantage as well.
I mean, yeah, there it is again. So, we've seen this a few times. You know what happens when you go to the dentist a few times, mate?
It's your teeth hurt?
Well, after that, you know the drill. But we see Holt back up on Spy. He's not checking for off classes, I don't think. He's doing it again. He's coming into second here. He's very keen on this Spy class, man.
There's no way to expect this one.
Oh, he decloaked. I think they may have heard him, but they do send Feign.
He gets the med.
Feign down, but it ends up with a drop.
Yeah, it's showing Bad Dentist the meaning of the root canal. He's finally won the Spy play. which means that, you know, now on he can say it worked, and his team's morale is going to be through the roof, and it's going to put his team on a really good position for this round, because now they're capping second with a bit of a player advantage and a full Uber advantage. So, I mean, given the last they pushed, this should go pretty successfully for them.
Yeah, they've even got their last player up now. They've cleaned up the sentry before it could even get built. The push is clean. There's really not a lot to say. They're up on that right side. They still haven't yet used the Uber. They're all the way into the bunker. They haven't yet used the Uber. They only just have to use it now. They clean up the heavy. Oh no. It's very scrappy. They saved their demo from certain death. They're very, very close. But I don't think the bad dentists are going to be able to make this one happen, man.
No, clean up from Xenophobia there, and they get the point without even losing a single player.
Yeah. Well, bad dentist. I think they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to do something special here.
Yeah,
I was trying to come up with something, but I really couldn't make it happen. Tell me about this mid.
It's an expensive procedure coming out from Bad Dentist. They sent Soldier in forward. He ran into the crate though, didn't really get too much done, and he has getting bought and bullied. Traded out with ult though, and he is still alive, so they're taking space now on that point and forcing out Xeno. This is the first mid that Bad Dentist won.
Yeah, I mean, actually, pretty convincingly as well. Though we do see Fane in that sewer area, and no one's really checked for him. He's actually jumping straight through choke onto the med, gets that med. Oh no, that's so rough for the dentist, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's the premium plan gone to tatters, is they're going to be sitting here on the second point with even Ubers, as long as they've got a player coming with their medic, which they do as the Soldier. As long as they can hold it from any re-aggression from ult, though.
That was close, man.
Yeah, a lot of spam coming out. There's a lot of pressure from Xeno here, as they know that there's no medic to heal up the players capping the second ball.
Yeah, Bad Dentist really trying to make something happen here. You can see Yachty on Sniper in that sewer area. He's just about to peek the door now. He gets a shot directly onto the med. They're making it happen, baby.
A big body shot coming out from him is going to put them in a really good position now for holding this midpoint, as they have a very large advantage. They're just going to need to... Oh, there goes the Demo Man as well. So holding this mid is now easier than ever. All they need to do is keep their medic alive and get ready to push second then last.
Yeah, and another frag out of Yachty. He gets one of the soldiers as well. They're in kind of dire straits now, though, because they've only got the sniper and the demo with the med. Oh! It's alright. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't believe what Oddie said, what Alt said in chat earlier, you know? Clearly someone's been practicing.
Holy cow, man. That last headshot was filthy. But,
just that, say hi YouTube for the frag movie.
Absolutely. But, I mean, coming off the back of that, they're definitely pushing second. They're capping second for free here, and they're probably going to push with a massive, massive ad. Looks like they want to take it straight through 2. They have used straight on through. They're onto the demo nice and early. That's really not achieving very much, this Uber so far. They have a bit of ground, clearing up the sentry. The spy again.
Oh, yikes.
Yachty hits a fat headshot and another one to really cinch out this round for the Bad Dentist. Oh my lord. Alt. Oh my lord.
Showing Alt that, you know, he's not the only player who can off-class and, you know, do some serious work on these pushes.
Absolutely. Luggnuts, I have to ask, what time is it?
That's a good question.
I just thought it might be 2:30.
Oh, in the morning, yeah.
It's the dentist time, 2:30.
Sure.
We actually see this mid begin with a nice aggressive push out of one of the soldiers on Bad Dentist. He is alias, so I don't know which, but it's just back to a bit of posturing here. We do actually see Xeno with a bit better of a position here, but Yachty jumps on in, hits a nice big rocket onto the med, unable to really make anything else connect there, and he's the first one down. Tachyon goes down very shortly after that, and we're seeing the Bad Dentist try to bail out of this one. Ooh, it's gonna be dangerous for them. Oh!
Yeah, that's Fan rolling right in on top of the medic, bounces him into the ramp on second and just deletes him and himself at the same time. Not a good position for Bad Dentist to be in, because even though they do have players around the place, they're going to be stuck holding last as a full Uber advantage rolls forward for Xeno.
Yeah, I mean, Xeno are definitely in a really good position here. Probably just going to wait for a couple players before they make anything happen. We do see Yachty with a wild, like, high bomb there. Didn't really make anything happen with it.
Unfortunate. Ooh.
The trap! Giga brain, dude. Giga brain.
He's going to let Heaps in, though. And he gets the scout frag as well, so there's quite a bit of space being taken by Xeno here. And they're already on the second point, even though Fane died to the trap.
Yeah, they are on the second point here, but there's a couple of players sort of like caught in weird positions. We see Yachty behind in that IT area. I don't know what he's just coming through choke now. Have they seen him? Yeah, Heaves is waiting for him. Not much going to be happening there. They do actually use their Uber into last while Yachty's behind. It's an equal trade on the Ubers in the end, and they lose their demo in the middle of it. So it's very poor for Xeno here, I actually think.
Yeah, not too good for them. They might be deciding to sort of play this one back because they've lost yet another few players there as well. So they're now...
They're throwing themselves in the mid. Oh, why?
Only people alive, Medic and the Scouts. A good play from them. Didn't quite work out for them, but they still will have even Ubers with that mid escape. As long as he can survive any players that might be moving forward from the side of Bad Dentist.
I mean, if I was on there, I would be so fearful here, man. And yeah, you can see he's backed all the way up to choke. He is ready to go. He's getting the heals out the best he can, but I think they're probably going to end up giving up on this mid.
Definitely much more aggressive playing from Bad Dentist than we saw in either of the first two rounds.
Ult coming from behind. Nice big rocket. That's 2 players down already.
Yikes. Definitely changes the tide of things, as they're going to be able to roll this straight from mid onto second now. We know Xeno's been playing this really aggressively. They like taking these sort of forward pushes after winning fights like that. And Ult's still behind, so...
They're definitely in a pretty good spot. Get the force on the Uber nice and early. It does end up being a trade. Omni taking quite a bit of damage there. But I think that's actually advantageous for them. Because they can cap this second. They can stall it out for a while they've still got round advantage. And then just wait for something to open up for them, I think.
Yeah, definitely going to be not an awful position. Right now it's 2-1. Almost 9 minutes left, so both teams are going to be feeling a little bit of time pressure going on now. Bad Dentist is going to want to make something happen. They have been playing a bit more aggressively to compensate, but with the Sentry Gun coming up right now, their main priority is just making sure they've got this last held down until maybe probably swapping off Yachty onto a sniping class or something, seeing if you can replicate a success earlier on and do some more headshotting.
Oh no, they actually push with 10% ad. The gun on the point doing so much work though, there's nothing there to really take it out. They finally take it down. Their Uber is wasted. It is a bit of a trade though. So they are kind of in a pretty good spot here. Taking out that gun alone puts them in an okay spot, but they did lose 1 scout in the middle of that. So I think it's just going to be a reset.
Yeah, reset with Uber advantage. They've been building really well on the side of Xeno. I wouldn't be surprised if that was their plan.
Could be. We do. Is Yachty... Yeah, he's out on Spy. So he's not just checking for off-class. We're actually seeing a return to the Spy class. This guy's out here, ready to extract some wisdom teeth, mate. Declo. Doesn't look like anyone's seen him.
Right behind the medic.
Oh.
Showing up ult on that one. First try as well.
Precision stuff, though, man. That was like a local anesthetic extraction. That was not a general job.
No. Cuts to the root of the issue for sure. That's going to give Bad Dentist a really good opportunity to push out of this with full Uber advantage. And only all have gone down.
Ooh. They use straight out of lower there, but their demo gets headshot mid-jump and only barely survives with a flash. Pandemic is on last still. He's going to get cleaned up, but Heaves on that sniper there could make something happen. He does end up having to bail out. He's got one of the scouts deep on him, right on his tail, and he's unable to pull a Yachty. There are traps and choke. They get dead, but nothing happens. I think it's just going to be Xeno giving up mid. I think that's a smart play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've still got a round up. They don't need to play anything too crazy at the moment. Yes, Bad Dentist is getting some ground, so it's really important to stop them rolling that all the way to last. And, you know, ensuring that there's no more off-class plays that slip through your line.
There's been a lot of off-classes in this game already, man. And they've all been Spy. Except for the one sniper play.
talk really inspired the community.
Oh, really? For sure. For sure, man. It's, I don't know, it's just gonna be another reset. We do see a double soldier bomb direct onto Omni, gets so much damage, but that man holds it, man. He was ready for that. He was totally happy to take
30
that.
HP, but no, he was fully committed. He said, I'm not dropping to these idiots, and just held that one out. Worked out really well for them.
Yeah, that it was playing with fire, but it did work out well. They end up sending a couple players through. There's a scout on the mid and the rocket. Oh, it's a drop ult with a rocket from Choke or from Sewer.
Sewer, I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Get
my!
the drop onto Essence there.
But they
Yeah,
did
that's
lose
good.
their med in return. The scouts just wandering straight through Choke, cleaning him up along with the rest of his team, which puts Bad Dentist in a pretty good spot here, man.
Yeah, it's actually not the worst thing that could have happened to them, because now they're getting some forward players onto last. Fane keeping a soldier out though, but now the demo is on, just putting some sticks on last. On the last doors though, not the point.
Yeah, I mean they're real close to being able to cap that, but they weren't quite able to make it happen. I think the spawns there was just a little bit too much for them to deal with. That was rough, man. I really thought that was around.
Yeah, they were tasting the tie there, but now less than 5 minutes, they really need to make sure they get another conversion like that. Looks like dropping the mid didn't really matter to them. Failed sack onto Omni though. It's going to give the push to Xeno for taking mid.
Yeah, I mean it's looking pretty dominant now for the Xeno guy. It does seem like, okay, I was wondering if they were crits because they were building so quick, but they're not. Bad Dentist is actually managed to get himself about 20% Uberad by grinding just like really hard there. So we are going to see a reset here. If they can convert this with 4 minutes left on the clock, I think they can make that happen.
Yeah, at this stage I'm pretty sure Xeno's not going to be trying anything too crazy. Probably no double sacks or anything. Just making sure that Bad Dentist stays in their place and respects the skies, but nothing too crazy. This might give Bad Dentist an opportunity to get something through, but I mean, at this stage they've got to start thinking of something because there's less than 4 minutes left on the clock and they need to get around.
Yeah, we do see Fane get fairly well minced there, and that's one frag. I think that might be just enough to get them in. Yachty jumps on through, gets a couple of rockets off the rest of his team, follows through Choke. Their med is so low, he ends up having a force in mid-air. It is a trade, and it's looking like Xeno's on top maybe at the end of the trade. They have the high ground, they lose Tachyon and they med. Yeah, Bad Dentist is struggling here. They might be able to make something happen, but I don't see it.
Yeah, that's definitely a difficult position for them. Respect for trying the play, but maybe committed Yachty a bit too early there, got him killed before the push really came through in earnest. They did a good job at forcing out the Uber though from Xeno, which was gonna keep it on even, but then they didn't bring their medic out, so now they've got a disad hold on last with only Yachty here to see if he can save it all with another string of headshots.
I mean, he's proven himself to be able to make things happen here. The door's about to open. He isn't quite able to make it happen. There is a soldier directly onto Omni. Omni goes down very low, but no issues there. He does end up surviving. It's going to be dangerous here. 2 minutes left on the clock. Is that even doable on Process? I think it is.
It is definitely doable. But when the enemy's just pushed in and you still don't quite have the Uber yet, it does look like Essence will be able to get, though, in time to defend this point.
Yeah, if they can get Xeno to flub this push, the Dream is still alive. 2 players down on Xeno now. The push is flubbed, but there is 2 players, including a scout, still on the last point here.
They don't know the scout's there as well.
Oh, but they've killed so many. There's one other scout peeking the last point. 2 minutes left on the clock. They lose their med, unfortunately, there. Do they know about this scout? Are they checking? Yeah, they are. Okay.
Like Yachty checked.
He ends up getting him. Okay. Lost their med. Dream's still alive, I think. If they can collect their med and like really roll these points one by one.
It's going to be tough because they do have Uber disadvantage, so they're going to need a successful play coming up basically now. And there's a sentry gun going up for Xeno, Alt deciding to use another off class in the roster. Making me proud.
You really do love to see it.
It's an awful spot.
Oh yeah, horrific. He decides to move. He can hear it. He's cheating. A minute left on the clock. I think they're really flying very, very close to the sun here. It'd be very, very difficult. And they're waiting it out to the point that I think Xeno's going to have Uber before they're able to do anything, right?
Yeah, most likely. So at this stage, I mean, Bad Dentist has gotten out of had gotten the push going in sticky situations like this, but I mean, there's the push right now. Double soldier sack. It got the force, but both soldiers dead for.
Yeah, I mean, the dentists seem pretty moody. It's probably because they're always looking down into mouths, but I don't know. I think they're gonna struggle with the mental game here. They're definitely making these last couple of fights happen. 30 seconds?
30 seconds. I don't know if
Possible.
this is doable, but they're definitely trying.
They've just got
players already on
mid.
second.
They've got players on 2. 18 seconds. What's their Uber like? 40%. Okay, they can't rely on Uber. They're gonna cap second now. 12 seconds left. If they can... Oh, it's very well defended. They're going to have to make a miracle happen. The demo gets suspended. He goes down. He does get the gun in the middle of it. 2 seconds left, and that is... Man, I counted them out long before I should have. We do have logs up on the screen, though, for all of our lovely, lovely viewers.
I knew it. I mean, like I said, I told you to look out for Meth pre-game, and sure enough, he came out top damage.
I guess with the meds, if you look at the heal stats, you can see that Omni and Xeno were sinking a lot more to the tune of 5% heals into their demo. The rest of it is kind of exactly what you expect from a very even game there.
Yeah, 2 more Ubers on the side of Essence than Omni. Pretty interesting, because his team was the one that was getting hammered all throughout that.
Snakewater, though. Snakewater. And the vibe I'm getting right now is that Bad Dentist could very easily take this map, just with the way they play. Something about it is screaming to me, Snake might be their place. Vibes only when you come through this door. We're moving on to Snakewater, ladies and gentlemen. The match is beginning. Bad Dentist and Xeno here to match off. Bad Dentist have to prove themselves here to gain themselves some points on the board. We're coming into the mid. Luggnuts, tell me about it.
Well, both demos prodding each other a little bit. Matt on the lower bit of health there. Bad Dentist hasn't really taken this chance to get into space, but they have sent Raylan behind, who did pick up ult. Did get dragged in turn by Heaps, though, so not too much of an advantage. A lot of damage coming in onto Yachty, who's gone right behind, picked up the health pack. So, bit of a scrappy fight at the moment. A lot of players all over the place. Another frag coming in from Bad Dentist, though. That's Fane down, so they do have the soldier advantage. That's going to allow them to roll over this point pretty successfully. Even players on each side, though, so they're not going to be able to turn this into too much advantage. Heaps is still in. He gets fragged by Meth, and that's going to give a bit of a push chance to Bad Dentist as long as they play it properly.
I think it's going to be delayed. Omni and his soldier using into this saw area. He's pretty aggressive and getting quite a few flashes out, which makes it like a fairly equal Uber. They're going to have to clean up this soldier behind before they can really push properly. Tachyon taking a duel with Fane down on the grass area. He ends up cleaning him up as well. So that's 2 down on the side of Xeno here. Bad Dentist really moving forward.
Yeah, it's the type of aggression we wanted to see out of them. They showed it last game, and they were getting a lot going with it. So, like we said, they're pulling it out this game, and it's working from moment one. Now, Xeno is usually pretty good to adapt to these things, though, so I don't know if it's going to keep working. Maybe they can start exploiting it a little bit. Fane especially is really good at sort of picking people up in these situations, and Matt's got, you know, crazy pipes that I've seen him practicing 12 hours a day on the MG. So... we'll see what ends up happening with it. Fane has gone down for the sack, though, and it is even Uber's Xeno holding last.
You can't just defame him by saying he plays 12 hours of MG. They did run a pyro into that lobby area as well. Ult really, really loving his off classes, man. He's doing everything he can to sort of make off classes the play. But we're just going to see another reset. I mean, there's not really much they can do here.
Highlander, obviously. Dispenser has gone down, so Xeno's defense has looking a little bit shaky. No level 3 sentry gun as well. Dispenser is coming back up, though, so things are looking not too bad for them at the moment.
It's another spy play, ladies. He takes out the medic.
He got the drop.
Oh, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Expecting it a 6th time, especially after the pyro play.
So he goes from pyro to spy, so it's like polar opposites. It's like, I don't know if he's mind gaming everyone or if he's just stupid. But either way, he's making it work for himself. We see Xeno use the Uber out into second. And they have managed to succeed in taking second. They've killed 3 players, but there's a player in last. Oh, they managed to stack it fast enough.
And going down to
cow.
that player on last as well.
It was close.
Really close, actually. This is one of the maps that has the last cap pretty quickly, so... So, yeah, I mean, even players on both sides. Roughly even Ubers, a little bit better building coming out of Essence, though, as we've seen from last map. But, I mean, Xeno's just looking to take this. They're just going super aggressively. They're already in mid.
I checked with the coin, by the way, and apparently he is mind gaming everyone.
Alright.
So, that's good news. But, with a little bit of ad here, I think that Bad Dentist is going to be able to block this mid. They have actually blocked it, and they're looking to push down lower. That might be dangerous for them. It's equal Ubers here. They've used through nice and early, flashed a couple players already. Omni's here to meet him with a scout and a demo, which is almost exactly what you want in this sort of scenario. Both the scouts are caught on grass. One of them's kind of forwarding into second. Very, very low. Demo going for the med. It all makes sense. I mean, Omni... Single-digit health. Yeah.
Pretty crazy, but he's managed to survive it, so... And that's a full wipe on the other team. He's gonna be able to come and take this mid, and probably take the second off it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was really well played out of Xeno there.
Does look like Bad Dentist maybe thought they had Uber ad, which is why they used into that so quickly. But I mean, yeah, it didn't really work out for them after all. And now you've got Xeno pushing in through Saw. They're going to be able to take the second pretty handily. Unless Yachty gets something alright on top of the minute. Gets on 50 HP.
Dude, Alt blocked a rocket. The last one that Yachty fired. Alt ate that thing. Again, brain games or like stupid? I don't know, but he saved his medic's life.
The coin has spoken. It's not that he's bad at dodging rockets, it's that he knows who's behind him.
Exactly. But the Uber comes out there on last already. Points already half capped. The Uber's now just fake. However, Bad Dentist has their own Uber to return here if they absolutely need to, but I don't think they're going to have to. They're cleaning up gamers left, right, and center.
Especially on that center place. Now you've got Raylan going down, locking up that scout, looking for him. Hasn't quite gotten him. Even players on both sides, but like you said, Uber advantage for Bad Dentist, and a big Uber advantage. They can take their time pushing out of this one. Wait for their spawns.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. They do need to be fearful. What's Alt doing? Oh no.
He's back on Spy.
Oh no. They do need to be fearful of Heaves down lower there. They do actually catch him out quite quickly. They have that one kill. Especially with Alt on Spy here. If they push fast, I mean, that could be shockingly good for them. Yeah, Alt's like lagging behind. He can't keep up.
He's going at walking speed while everyone else is using rocket jumps. He has decloaked. No one has heard him, so now he's in actually a pretty good position.
Oh god. Okay, no, he does go down. Had me. My heart was beating.
Does make them use though, and they have lost a lot of players, so now it's actually looking really badly for Bad Dentist.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up having to use on second there. That soldier getting onto them was a bit too much, but I don't think it's a massive loss for them because it was a trade Omni used as well. So I think that they're just sort of resetting on last here. We're going to have to see if they're able to make something happen though, because they're throwing players at second like it's going out of fashion. So
Lost 2 for 1. Tachyon does die, so that's actually 3 for 1, only taking down Hebes. Point is capped as well, so maybe there could be a really aggressive play from under here, from Xeno, and there they are, leading in with the scout and the demo.
I mean, yeah, this is working pretty well for Xeno. The demo does go down for Xeno though, and Matt being down could be what it takes to stop this push here, this dry push. They did lose their med in the middle of that though, on the side of Bad Dentist.
Yeah, Matt's definitely a powerhouse for the team. Can't really succeed in the push without him, but Fane is there to save everything by killing the medic right at the start of that one. So they're going to be able to hold the second most likely. If not, at the very least, the medic will survive with Uber advantage. So still not a bad position for them. But Bad Dentists are looking to try to get something out of this and are pushing very aggressively.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the Uber coming out in second here, I think that was a force. We did see Yachty throw himself at it and get that force, I believe. Or maybe it was a 3-man force? I don't know. I was AWOL.
Just an entire team force, which they managed to pull 3 of their players out of. So, a lot of
Fantastic.
players dead. Can't really defend against the xeno push in. Those 3 players have come up again though, but they won't be able to come up in time to save the point.
Yeah, he hit a market garden after the round, but that was the first round. Going to the side, it counts. Going to the side of Xeno there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Walker Smith.
Don't know what to say about this mid. They've all gotten there at roughly the same time. We're seeing the usual sort of Snakewater stuff. You take your huts, you take a little bit of high ground, you try to make things happen. Nice big double bomb out of Bad Dentist. They clean up the demo nice and early. There's a few other frags going on. So far, it's looking like Bad Dentist are firmly on top. Oh, dude. Power.
Man,
The power.
Are they dentists or are they making a smoothie? Because they put those 2 guys in a blender, honestly.
Yeah.
It's such a synchronized spawn wave on the side of Xeno because all of them died to the same 2 soldier bomb. It's going to allow a lot of space taken from Bad Dentist, but they haven't actually gotten any players on second yet. So, you know, you've still got Alt jumping around the place. Might cause himself a nuisance if they try to get through this. Maybe he might pick something up, we'll see, but he is only on soldier, so there's a limit to what he can do.
Yeah, I don't think he's really going to be able to make very much happen there. It looks like he's... Oh, he gets the force?
No, that was Fane. Alt did manage to survive and get out, but Fane came in, got the force. That's really good for Xeno, because now they're going to have a fat 50% Uber advantage for pushing out of last.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, there's no way he lives here. There's no way he gets a force here. That's unreal. The gun up on last as well is going to block any sort of, like, sacks through, as we just saw Yachty trying to throw himself in there. Did get minced more or less immediately. This is really interesting.
Yeah,
I thought Bad Dentist had a very easy push coming out of there. And with Alt all the way through lower.
That's Raylan going down to Alt as well, so, I mean, he's looking for the back cap, but this is a pretty clean second take. No deaths on the side of Xeno, and they still have this Uber advantage. If they move quickly, and they like moving quickly, then they'll probably be able to use this onto mid. But the Uber is coming up for Essence, though, and he just needs to kite a little bit before he gets it.
Yeah, and we've seen this before where Essence gets this Uber at the last safe moment. Yeah, he has. And he throws himself straight back into them. Nice big jump out of Yachty as well. Cleaning up Pandemic. Omni going down as well. This is pretty good for the Bad Dentist. They've minced quite a few players here and kept most of theirs alive. Only really using Yachty. Losing Yachty? Oh, man.
Would hope.
Oh, man. Either way, it was a good push from them.
Exactly. I mean, this is where Essence's build speed comes in really handy because right there, the demo man was right on top of him. He hadn't gotten just then that would have gone disaster for them. But they've just turned that all around and now they're taking a player advantage, Uber advantage push into last because of that build speed.
Yeah, it's really, really clean. They've taken over that left side super hard. They're jumping straight across, taking up as much of the enemy team's time as they possibly can. Fane's doing everything he can to stop this, but he is very, very low. They're seemingly fearful of the spawns here, though. And it looks like they're ready to just... Oh, no, they wait for their Uber and then they throw themselves back in. It's so clean. It's so good. Why was I thinking they weren't going to get this? Come on. Come on, guys.
They're playing this very methodically. You could say they're playing it medically, but still not quite enough. I mean, Fane just died basically near the end there. He was staying alive, getting so much space for Xeno. And even with that really good player advantage push, taking position, then Uber push, they still are unable to pick up the point.
Yeah. They did throw Yachty in. He does clean up the demo, which is going to delay the push here a little bit, maybe. Because they are facing like a, 40-30% disad now. That they're going to have to deal with here. Coming straight on through Saw. Not really a heck of a lot happening. It's looking like it's just going to be very posturing. The Uber does get used. We're going to have to see, do they do it again? Yep, they do. They throw themselves straight back in with a nice big Uber. See if they can save this soldier. They don't quite get there in time. Oh!
Two scouts and the soldier behind collapsing on them. They're leading so many players, and that's a full team wipe. Wow, that could have gone so disastrously for Xeno there. Again, using that Uber in, no demo, when Essence was just coming up on building his own. But that play behind just won them that point, and might even win them this round, because now it's even Ubers, and they're coming on taking second.
I think I pulled something in my neck with the whiplash there, man. That was... They played that. Xeno played that so well. The only thing they lost there was their med. That was like the only negative there.
Yeah, and they had to lose their mid to win that fight anyway, so, you know, I think it's a decent trade for the position that they're now in on second.
God,
Also
it's like,
one round up.
It's like watching tennis, mate.
Back and forth, back and forth. At least we haven't seen that much leapfrogging, and now Yachty's on sniper, so, I mean, we'll see what he can pull out, if he can replicate his success, or if Xeno's going to use their position just, you know, sit here, bully them with their one round up and 16 minutes left.
Again, though, with Bad Dentist and building, like, this was a really big disad for them. It's even. They've gotten it up to even, like, immediately.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to tell Omni to, you know, pick up his building, or if it's just Essence has just got the mind of a clockwork monster, but something's going really right on the Uber side for Bad Dentist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Omni and crew were building, like, as aggressively as they could, because I don't think they intended to use that as ad, but still, though.
Ooh,
it's just
we're
impressive.
seeing some serious mind games coming in. Alt dropped, went in, died for a sec, popped in chat saying spy time. Now he's come up as soldier, while Heebs is finally come out of spawn as sniper. After just sitting in there for like 5 minutes.
I'm very lost.
Well, right
This
now,
guy's operating on a different wavelength to me, man.
he's just mind gaming the whole scene at the moment. They won't even question. They'll think, oh yeah, Alt's definitely on spy. They'll see him on soldier and they'll still think he's on spy.
Oh, yeah. He could be this guy's a teammate.
Exactly. He could sack in and they'll still think he's a spy at this stage.
Heebs did call for medics, so they should know he's on sniper. They have also seen him. A couple pot shots going off. Nothing really to... Did you see the med there?
He's decided to dance with death, but, you know, relied on the sniper's tunnel vision, so...
God. He had a heart attack.
Heebs does show that he gets the better of Yachty there. 2 players down on the side of Bad Dentist, so, you know, not a bad time to push. Do some pushing, do some prodding.
It really wouldn't be. I think the spawns are going to be fast enough that it's not really going to make a massive difference here. They did send Alt in as well. Try to get a force on the med. I think they can afford to play this sort of like slow playstyle because they are still a round up. And there's 14 minutes left. I mean, yeah, that's enough to be an issue for you if you muck up a push, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yachty on spy this time, by the way.
Alright, he pulled it off last time. He tried the sniper, didn't really work. Heebs was there to stop him. Now he's on spy, and Alt is there to stop and gives him the taunt as well. I mean, right now, Yachty's mental sure has been boomed. a little bit of BM in the chat as well.
He decloaked under the sniper and in front of Alt. It was about as poor as it possibly could be. But they do take the gun down in the meantime, and Heeb's peeking that like top area there. You used to call it wine. I don't know, drop down now? Whatever.
I've got no clue.
I don't know. Either way. It's not really a drop, is it? He does go down. Yachty pushing in, but in the meantime, on the other side of the map, we see the Ubers get traded. It's looking a little bit better for Xeno, I think, but they do end up bailing on out. It's just a trade, not really much to see, but now they're looking to push in on that left side. The demo's getting a lot of sticks over that side to try and back them out. It does appear to have worked, and they clean up Alt in the act. That's pretty good from them.
Yeah, not too bad of a chance. They do want to take this out, though, getting really aggressive. This could go disastrous for them, but if it works, then they're really back in this game.
Oh, Yachty in so deep, trying to get so much damage. Not quite able to make things work for him. Ooh. Feint on last, dragging them all back.
That's 3 down on the side of Bad Dentist. This push from Xeno could be very successful if they keep their players alive.
And the med's totally disconnected from his other players.
We essentially saw a trifecta of plays there from Yachty. First the sniper, then the spy, then the aggressive soldier. And unfortunately for Bad Dentist, it has ended with them losing another round. Still 12 minutes left, so plenty of time for them to pull some pug shenanigans and get this back on the road. But definitely going to feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this pressure impacts the way they play this mid. So far, it's pretty much the standard stuff. A sticky hit on Matt, though, but no one really there to follow up nice and early. So we're just facing the sort of standard Snakewater mid. Nice big double bomb. The soldiers cross X pattern in the air. Get a bit of damage on a Matt, but nothing really worth talking about. They've backed up to get themselves a bow. The high ground is not very contested right now, but we do see Fane coming in from that lower area. He is caught out, so he's not really able to make much happen. Alt goes down, Pandemic goes down. This is looking pretty good for the Bad Dentist. They clean up the med as well. They did lose their own in the middle of that, unfortunately. Fane came in directly behind them and just minced him. And Heebs walking in onto the point, Tachyon having to take that fight. He does end up going down, but Heebs able to block that cap. That was a interesting mid. I don't...
Matt escaping there on 6 HP. Yeah, really interesting that they had both soldiers bombing in, like you said in the next ban. They got out, though, for that bow, and that was pretty crucial for them because that allowed them to sort of clean up the frags from the players who were kind of out of position because they were prepared for the soldier bomb, despite not losing anyone. So that allowed them to roll this pretty forward, pretty successfully. They didn't manage to pick up second, though, but they will have... Wait, they don't even have Uber advantage. What happened to their medic?
He got minced. Fane jumped in from behind.
Oh man, that's disastrous for them.
Yeah,
when you
it's
get
really
the
rough.
medic in the mid and then you realise the other team has Fane. Really
He was
unlucky.
the only player to go down, I think, on their team that mid too. Aside from
Yeah.
like at the very end. Or walking into that trap.
See if Xeno actually does something off this. They like just going really forward off these really small advantages. At the very least, they've got a sack and Alt going really far behind.
Have they lost him? Because they've sort of like stopped. Tachyon's peeking back, but he's not like uber
Alt
desperate to
spawn
find.
camping.
Oh no. Oh dude, he respawns as heavy to try and counter that thing. That's nuts.
It's just, it didn't come out as heavy though, only scout. Pretty disappointing, but I mean, Alt is still behind, so.
Yeah, but with him being behind, they're essentially a player down. So it looks like that's how Bad Dentists are treating this. They're throwing themselves straight through. They send both their soldiers, who both get mid. They have cleaned up Alt behind in the meantime. So it ends up not as good for them as I was thinking.
I mean, typically when there's only one player down, you don't push your entire team into the sticky traps, but I mean, we're seeing new and innovative playstyles at the moment, and that with Fane going down, that's now an Uber coming out from Bad Dentists.
Oh no. Oh, holy cow. Sorry, Essence disconnected from his scout in the middle of that over there. It was very, very dangerous. But it does look like they're actually making it work out. They've wrapped around through grass side now, and they're bullying the Xeno gamers out. They've gotten a couple of frags. There's a couple of frags in every direction. Pandemic getting a lot of damage. He ends up going down for his effort, but it's looking damned good for Xeno. Wiping the Bad Dentist.
Yeah,
Just wiping them up.
just cleaning them up. I'm not going to make that into a dentist pun because I didn't think of one ahead of time, but Xeno's now picked up this mid, and that's just a really sort of not such poorly timed, but sort of poorly executed aggression coming out from Bad Dentist. They are looking to make things going. They can't afford to just sit here and take things so slowly. Definitely is their time to make things roll, but that has caused them to give some pretty disastrous pushes and give Xeno quite a lot more space.
Yeah, and with 9 minutes left on the clock, I mean, they're going to be feeling it. They're going to be feeling it at this point.
Yeah, definitely. They were in this exact situation 5 minutes ago, and it didn't really work out too well for them, so they want to make something change, and they don't want that change to be them respawning after losing a round.
Yeah, and it's looking like it might be heading that way. The point getting half-capped, more than half-capped already. Uber gets used. It's a nice big fight. I don't think that the Bad Dentists are going to be in much of a position to win it. They're blocking the point for quite a lot longer than I was thinking, but yeah, that was the predictable outcome there.
Exactly. I mean, 3-0 now up for Xeno. Things are looking pretty damn good for them. They don't need to do any crazy plays. They just need to keep playing solid fundamental TF2. It really is putting a lot more pressure onto Bad Dentists to perform here.
Yeah, coming into this mid though, we do see Meph hit a nice fat sticky on a mat. Again, no one really there to follow up nice and early. Omni takes a sticky as well, I believe. Maybe a pipe? I think it was a sticky. And both soldiers jump straight on in. They are unable to clean up either of those players, but they do clean up 3 others between the two of them and both their scouts as well. They're mincing players in this kitchen area, and it's a wipe. That's the mid that Bad Dentists have been looking for all game.
Definitely did help that Xeno was missing a soldier there. He decided to come up on Spy instead. You know how I said that all Xeno had to do was play some good, solid, fundamental TF2? Clearly Alt decided that they needed some serious brain plays to help them out of this rut of being 3 rounds up that they were in.
Yeah, I mean, you hate that sort of, oh, it's tails, mate. You hate that sort of rut, don't you?
Sure. I mean, clearly Alt doesn't, but...
The Uber comes out, they're straight into love. They have lost Fane here. He's behind them in the middle of this Uber. He does end up jumping straight in, getting quite a bit of damage onto the Scout. But it's looking pretty good for the Bad Dentist. They're 1 kill up, 2 kills up, pushing this last hit. All they have to do is clean up a couple more gamers, stand on the point, and that is that. 1 round of them, 6 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, I'm so hard.
Alright, yeah, man. You should probably visit someone who's not a dentist to fix that one. It persists for more than 4 hours for sure.
I just realised that I probably shouldn't be saying that on stream. We're coming into this bit. Another nice big sticky hit on Matt. Matt takes a couple of spam rockets, I believe, as well, but nothing really worth talking about going on. Do see a nice big X pattern jump in again. Huge damage on the Omni, including a midi to wipe him out. That is so clean. Essence in a bit of a battle for his life there. It goes down to single-digit health again. And he does end up surviving, though. He's looking like he's waiting for that pack. He does end up getting... Pandemic above him is a little bit horrifying. Cleaning up Tachyon as well.
That's right.
It's a scrappy mid, but it's still a win for Bad Dentist, so I'll claim it.
Unless Pandemic can come in and do something really crazy right now.
It's dangerous, man. Oh, dude. Xeno are throwing themselves directly at this. I think they really want this match. They've lost 2 players for it so far, for really only picking up Yachty, who I think was throwing himself at them at the same time. I don't know, man.
The worst idea, because what now they've done right now is they've delayed this mid for so long that they've already got up to over 60% Uber, and the midpoint hasn't even been captured yet. That could have really easily rolled them right back to last, but instead they're turning that into their advantage and, you know, making sure that they retain some level of control over this point so they don't quickly lose so many rounds.
Sorry, I just read the chat. Sorry, bro. They do end up using Uber into last there. It doesn't go very, very well.
Well, nothing was happening then anyway. Yeah, so we've got Uber advantage still from some, again, better building from Essence. I don't know if they're going to be able to turn this into a push. Bad Dentist has been playing this pretty aggressively. I think if they do get this Uber, knowing that they've been building so well, they definitely should be turning it into a push. They do need to pick up 2 rounds. It looks like they're pushing anyway before they even have.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous game that they're playing, but they're pretty keen to play it, it seems. They're going to end up backing out after having lost those 2 players. But they can pick up Pandemic with a trap, which is pretty good for them. And it looks like they picked up Ult as well, which returns them to a sort of semblance of advantage here. If they can pick up Fane as well? No, not quite. But they do end up getting all of their gamers up here. They have a very, very slight Uber advantage. Call it even. And 2-player ad? Are they going to push it? Nah, the players are up now. It's dangerous, but they're keen for it. 3 minutes on the clock. I guess they have to be.
Yeah, definitely at this stage they can't really afford to muck around. The sniper plays don't work, the spy plays don't work. They do have to get players through these chokes and into the point to make something happen. Because Xeno's definitely not going to be the one trying to move anything here. They're already sitting there happily 2 rounds.
They throw Yachty in for a sack and he goes down like almost immediately. That's I don't know if that's the play. They're running the time here, because if they don't get this cap soonish, I think they're kind of out of options.
Yeah, no, definitely. The time is ticking Ryan down pretty quickly. 3 minutes left. Still very doable if they get a cap right now, pretty much. So they're going to need to just... Alt is on Spy, though, so...
Oh, they lose another.
This is either a really good opportunity, a really good advantage for Bad Dentist, or it could go really disastrously to them. Depends on how well Alt does here. Actually, it just looks like he was checking for classes.
I think... If the Bad Dentists don't push and get onto this point by 2 minutes flat, I think they're totally cooked. As of right now, it looks like they're pretty ready to go in through the roller door. They lose one of their soldiers who peeks through drop down. They're running out of time here. I reckon they got about 20 seconds to make this happen.
Yep. They have to get going really fast. They do have Was that a spy I saw? No. They got Fane again. So now really is their chance to push. They have to get in there right now.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. It looks like they're going low. They've got one of their scouts down there peeking. Both of their soldiers as well. The soldiers are spamming the gun. It's a good play. The gun's down. That gives them the entry that they need. But they rotate back around up to shut a door. And then wait. And then one of their soldiers jumps in. Doesn't quite go down, but he's damn close. He's still getting a bit of damage. He ends up taking out one of the other soldiers. It's a odd stalematey pushy thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're still not in right now. Their medic's sitting on second, and it's now 1 minute 30 left. Less than 1 minute 30 left, and they have to get 2 rounds.
I mean, TCM has done this, haven't they? I think that was TCM,
I don't think
wasn't
so.
it? In like
I don't
a
think you get 2 rounds in a
45-second
minute.
round?
Yeah, but
Something
2
like that.
rounds?
But if they get the cap here, which it looks like they're going to...
Oh my god,
yeah,
they got it.
Okay. They have about a minute flat, which is 40 seconds by the time they get to mid.
I think so. They can do it. They can definitely do this. A minute flat is doable on Snakewater, especially. They're
Yeah.
going to play this very aggressively, though. They've been delaying their double soldier bombs. They need to have them going from second one that they get.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a really, really quick mid out of them. We see Meth get a sticky across. Doesn't actually hit anything this time. The one round. But they're playing a little bit slow now. 40 seconds now. They're throwing a soldier straight in. He's onto Omni nice and early. Omni goes down.
Get them in.
They lose
Yeah,
3,
guys.
4. It's all on Tachyon and his other scout here. Tachyon goes down. It's just on... Yeah, no, never mind.
And that's a wrap for Bad Dentists.
Yeah, I think that's it. They're calling the
Yeah.
GGs in the chat. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. It's kind of... There's really no way they can return this to the land of power, you know?
Yeah, Yachty somehow completely lacking a sense of irony in the chat.
Pretty standard. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the timer hits 0, and we see the Xeno team take another map, 3-2. Another very close game overall. We should have logs up very, very shortly. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. I mean, 291 damage a minute from Meth there. That's pretty poppin'. Alt actually up there pretty high in terms of the damage with 252.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That was really interesting, and it's really good to see games being played like that. And it's only week 1.
Yeah, week 1. That was a really close match. Only 1 round different on both those maps. Pretty down to the wire on both of them. So really good showing from both the teams, giving us some really good TF2.
I suppose we should wrap it up properly. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight on Critscast. Critscast obviously has many varieties of social media. They have a Discord server that you can join. They have a YouTube channel where you'll be seeing some content to do with all of this, and they do, of course, have all of the Twitch streams. You'll be tuning in nice and often, I'm sure, because there's more of this where this comes from. There's also a Twitter you can follow if you want to stay up to date with Critscast. Try to get your hands on one of those juicy hats. There's merch. There's a Patreon that you should definitely be subscribing to. I suppose we'll wrap it up. My name has been the Lampshade22 or Snazzy. Again, find me in. With me tonight has been Luggnuts. And we've also had the beautiful and wonderful Core on production. So yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I've had a really great time, and I hope you all did as well.
Hi, old beaver! Away!